And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it.
this is ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. And we are back for another week of conversation here on The Ride. We are streaming live and direct on Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram. You know what, Lori, I don't know why I keep forgetting to do this now. On Instagram, I keep forgetting to hit the go live. So now we'll be live on Instagram. Okay, Instagram as well as YouTube TV. So when you go to YouTube, please pull up Empower TV. We are currently on our drive for 10,000 subscribers. It's all free to join. Please make sure that you click on the little bell when you join as well so that it will notify you anytime that we go live or we add new content to the platform. But we also would love if you would please share this and help us grow the platform even faster. We do appreciate that ahead of time. Thank y'all so much. And thank you to the ones that have already joined, and thank you to the ones that view us on a regular basis and or just peek in whenever you can. It is definitely appreciated. We are coming up on 4 years, I guess, Lori. We started in 2020. And it was August, I believe. So we're, roughly about 2 months out of a 4-year anniversary of Empower TV Network. And we thank everybody that has supported us over all of those years. So with further ado, let's say hello to Lori. How you doing?
Doing well. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, everybody. That is correct. And so far, so good. I better not jinx it, but I think my computer is trying to act a little bit better this week than it did last week.
It's not the white van.
Okay. So far. And outside of that and the crazy storms that we have that tend to play boogeyman to our internet or cut all of the lights off, hopefully, knock on wood, too, none of that happens. Hopefully, I didn't jinx it and put us in a bad situation. But hey, we'll see what happens. Because hey, if we lose power, you lose to both of us. That's the funny thing. So unless we're joined by CJ or franchise, that would just basically end the show. So
Well, I want to just also say we did have some crazy storms here in the Charlotte area, so it was a little crazy, and especially this morning with all of the down trees and lots of things. Many people had lost power who just got their power back on. So again, shout out to all those. Hopefully you are safe. You were safe or marked safe during this time. It looks like the sun's coming out. So yay.
man, this weather been crazy anyway, because even a couple of days ago, man, it was raining so bad. I mean, it would trickle, then all of a sudden downpour. Ease up a little bit, downpour some more, and it was just on and on and on and on and on.
It's always trying to get that sweet spot, when it's not the downpour, but it's going through the light rain. It's not so bad. And then trying to get that.
The only good thing about it raining like that, especially in the month of May, is it reduces the amount of pollen, which that does. That is definitely welcome. Me going out every morning and not seeing my vehicle look yellow when it's white is nice. But then the other side effects, if you want to call it that, is man, that grass just start growing, and it's one thing when your grass is growing, and then you have every intention of going out to cut it, and what happens that day? It rains. So then it makes it just get even taller and stuff, and make your yard look quite unkept. So I know plenty of people out there feel that kind of pain because you're thinking, man, I was just gonna wait till the weekend, and then the weekend comes, and boom, there's the rain. So that
Well,
what do you do?
well, at least your car looks yellow. Mine is just looks dusty.
Well, well, when you have a black car, it makes it look even worse. It's
Yes, it
something
does. Yes, it does.
something about that yellow and the black. It just makes it look because it just looks like I don't know. It looks crazy. But either
I
way,
just my car just looks unkept. It just looks unkept, and it's just a big old dust ball that's rolling down. And every time I'm saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go get the car washed," it rains, or it just is not worth it. So,
yeah.
but and
Well, and
it's
see that's it,
better
and
today.
that is the other problem too. If you know that it's about to rain, you're almost like, man, what's the point of going to the car wash? Because in a few hours it's just going to be jacked up all over again, and I really didn't do anything but make it look good for a few hours. So that doesn't really help.
No.
But anyway, so we are coming live and direct to you guys, and just to always remind you too that we do. Look for folks to be able to that want to be able to share their business or any events coming to the area. Please let us know. Maybe we can cut out some kind of time or commercial or something like that to be able to show folks what's going on in the area with you. You can reach out to us directly if the show is live. You can send us a message. If you would like to send us an email, you can send it to the parkermedia@gmail.com. That's the parkermedia@gmail.com. Would love to help you be able to promote your goods and services. Hey, Lori, do you have the Sawyer Kid Lawyer clip? You can show them
I
that one.
do.
So we're going to show you one, and then we'll hold back and do 2 to 3 more at the top of the hour when we have to refresh our Instagram feed. But this is from Shanine and Sheldon Muldrow, and they came out with a children's book called Sawyer Kid Lawyer. It's the first of a series of books that they are working on, and this is something that they've done, and they want to make sure that everybody knows about it. So, if you are interested in getting a children's book, either for your child, uh, a niece, nephew, whomever, if you want to get it as a gift, whatever the case may be, it's an excellent read. It does help your child with reading and sounding out words and everything else. And it has a nice little story attached to it. So without further ado, check this out, Sawyer Kid Lawyer. Introducing Sawyer Kid Lawyer, Teacher versus Nap Time, a great book that will help your little one with reading, writing, and spelling. Coming from the authors, Shanine and Sheldon Muldrow. Please check this book out and support. Thank you so much. And there you go. And just like that, hey, Constance, thanks for joining in on Instagram. But yeah, we definitely can cut any kind of commercials to let people know about any of the events, any products that you may sell, events that you may be having, things like that. We want to help you be able to get the word out, but we also know how much advertising can cost and things like that. And it's not easy. Sometimes all we do is just post it on our Facebook page because a lot of times we have, even if you got 500, 800 followers, well, that's okay. But we want to help you grow that exponentially and get the word out to more people. So definitely reach out to us on that. Again, you can send us a DM or you can send us an email at Parker media@gmail.com, and we will reply back as soon as possible. All right. So, Lori, I don't know if you heard this story. I'm sure you have. Governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, has been in a lot of hot water lately because she uh, is one of those crazy governors. But most importantly, she has been on the short list of vice president uh, potentials for Donald Trump. for this year. And she decided to come out with a book. For the book dropped, there were excerpts that were already being released. And one of those excerpts referenced her killing her 14 or 15-month-old puppy named Cricket. Had you hadn't heard the story?
Um, I heard it, but I thought it was. I didn't know if it was a puppy. I was under the impression I thought it was like an older dog or something like that.
Oh, no, 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 no,
Oh
no, no.
no.
15 months tops.
Oh, that's horrible.
So Cricket was this little puppy full of, apparently, according to a story, just you know how dogs are when they're young. They're really all over the place. They're energetic and things like that. Well, Cricket, they had gotten Cricket from another family that was not able to train Cricket properly, and for her, properly meant that they wanted Cricket to be a working dog, because they're in South Dakota and they use dogs when they go out hunting. They do hunting trips with dogs. And I guess a lot of times when they shoot whatever, and then the dog goes and, helps retrieve it and stuff like that. Well, she tells a story about how Cricket would not was just a terrible, terrible animal. And oh, looks like we got another. Bring him on in. Let's bring in before I finish the Cricket story, let's bring in the host of Elephant Exposed, as seen on YouTube. You can always look him up there, Elephant Exposed or CJ Jones, where he will look at a lot of the police issues surrounding police. Matter of fact, before I even get into that, I also we did it goes without saying that the Charlotte area, especially Northeast Charlotte, where I used to live in Shannon Park, is still reeling from the officers that were slain just because they were trying to serve a warrant, and I decided to. Oh, you all right over there? He figured he was gonna uh, take down some officers, and unfortunately, okay, 4 officers lost their lives as a result of that. And I know some of the funerals have been going on all week as well. And it was something, Lori, I actually have passed the um, North Tryon Street Police Department just the other day, and it broke my heart because they had one of their police jeeps right outside of the door, and it was just covered with a bunch of flowers and memorials and stuff like that. And as soon as I passed it, I knew what it was, and my heart just sank because, you know, a lot of times we'll sit there and point out the problems that we have with law enforcement sometimes. But at the end of the day, they're people too. Um, they want to be able to go home to their families just like everybody else does. Um, and it should never be um, it should never be unexpected. You shouldn't be able to go home. Whether you're a cop, whether you're a civilian, anybody else, everybody should be able to. Whether you've done anything wrong or not, you should be able to go home. It shouldn't be somebody else just decide and really just decide that today they're gonna take you out and you don't get to go back. A lot of these officers, I heard their stories over the week, and those were some really good stories. And it's sad because now all people are left with, and they're trying to celebrate their life, but they're also grieving at the same time. But it broke my heart as soon as I passed the police station. I saw that. Sorry to get off on that, but I was thinking about what PJ does is goes into a lot of some of the other inequities like that, and there are inequities in everything, not just the police, but we highlight that a lot of times police are held in such high regard as almost uh, you really could not or should not, not take their word for things and stuff like that. But now, within the age of body cameras and camera phones and things like that, sometimes what you see isn't always what's going on. And sometimes what others' point of views may not be what's going on as well. And those things may help clear that up too. So CJ does a really good job with that. I know that was a long introduction, but welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
Thank you for the introduction. And yes, my brother, you hit that directly on the head. Um, and by me being an Uber driver back on the road again, I had to cut my day short because I was like, "Ooh, what time is it?" So I was trying to make a little bit of change on the side, but yes, I actually happened to be in the area and I saw all kinds of memorials. And in case if any of your viewers wanted to see my direct personal view and everything else, I like my whole entire show is raw and uncut. I never have a script. I go off the dome in my heart.
Okay.
But as far as like my reactions, so when you see my reactions, they are genuine. If I'm upset, I'm upset. If I'm happy, I'm happy.
Mhm.
If I am moved, you will know it. It's not an act. And what I'm pulling from is what I want for my audience to see is that I just don't want you to just to click like, share, subscribe, and all of that. There's a little area that tells you all about me on my YouTube channel. It tells you my background. It tells you about my pedigree, where I come from. In other words, I know what the heck I'm talking about. I've actually lived it. So, as a black man, as a police officer, as uh, you know, being in front of the badge as well as being behind the badge, I have I'm one of those people out there that has um a perspective that I hope that you can appreciate in everything, and that's what I like to share with the audience. But yeah, man, you're right. Our hearts are still kind of reeling from this because life is never real until it happens to you,
Mhm. Yeah.
and that's I don't want to go any deeper than that, but that was just my little in there. So thank you for that, man. I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate
Absolutely. So yeah, we definitely we believe in justice for all.
you. Yes.
So anywhere there's injustice, whether it's in a police department or any other white collar business or wherever it is, we believe in justice for all. We don't think anybody's above reproach. There's bad, a lot of people overuse bad apples, but there are bad apples in every profession. Police are no different than medical or no different than legal. I mean, hell, how many Trump lawyers, done had to get lawyers, done been disbarred, losing law licenses, facing indictments and criminal charges. And I mean, hell, they sit there and work with judges on a day-to-day basis. So there's always so many different professions that none of them should ever be considered, oh, you can't question them because they are this and they are that. Hell, even judges, even I'm reading even things in our local things where people in the county offices are being found to embezzle and everything else. So if all of these people that we hold in high regard um, can mess up and end up in front of the criminal justice system,
Yes,
anybody
sir.
and honestly, that's the way it should be. Your position should not preclude you from being immune from any kind of prosecution if you've done something wrong. And everybody should be able to defend themselves and have their day in court to be able to do so. So that's
Yes,
what
sir.
this is all about. Hey, CJ, I was going into this story about the cricket, the dog, that the South Dakota governor, Christy Nome, decided to talk about in her upcoming book. Christy Nome is the governor of South Dakota. She's on the short, or I'm going to say was, on the short list of vice presidential candidates for Donald Trump.
Mm,
And I think, well, I'll tell you what I think in a second, but she, the book is to be released this week, but there were always, when a book is coming out, excerpts get released. And one of the
mhm.
excerpts got released about her telling an anecdote about her 15-month-old puppy named Cricket. And she was talking about how they had taken Cricket on from another family that could not control Cricket. And Christy Nome wanted to bring Cricket in to be a working dog, which is a hunting dog, a dog that when you go on your hunting trips, they accompany you there. They, I guess, assist you with your hunting. I guess whatever you shoot or you bow, then they go retrieve it for you. And because Cricket was so wild and just free and full of life and just wanted to play, they figured they'd take Cricket on a hunting trip with some of the older dogs and see if Cricket could, figure it out. And she says Cricket was less than worthless. Cricket was ruined the whole trip, the hunting trip. All she wanted to do was roll around in the grass and chase birds and shit like that. Stuff that dogs do. As opposed to focusing on going and retrieving some fowl that you shot out the damn air and stuff like that and go get it. So she talks about having to make tough decisions. And I guess what she was trying to do was talk about how being in positions of leadership, sometimes you have to make the tough choices that nobody else is willing to do. So she decided that this dog was less than worthless. She even put in the story, I hated that dog. So what she decided to do while the kids were away at school is that she led Cricket down a gravel path and put her down. I'll just put it like that. She put the damn dog down because she was not a good working dog. Then she said, now, as bad as that is, I guess she wasn't done. Some people have bloodlust. So she said, while I'm at it, we have a goat that's really smelly and obnoxious. So she decided to take the goat to the same gravel pit. She went to the truck, got a shell. Now, this is how country she is. She got a shell. And she tried to do the same thing, but this damn goat wasn't just gonna stand there and just smile cheese. He started moving before she shot. So when she shot him, he lived. So she had to go run to the truck and get another shell and hurry back before he done whimpered off somewhere. And she went ahead and ended him too. And as soon as she had done that, the school bus shows up. The kids get out the bus and they go, "Where's Cricket?" So she kills her 15-month-old puppy because she says she was supposed to be a working dog, and because she would not hunt, she was worthless. And the whole moral of her antidote was to be able to show people or show her readers that she's willing to do what needs to be done. And I guess
Put down Trump.
And I guess that, well, that to me now that would be even a funnier story is, okay, so the difficult decision would be, when do you put Old Yeller down or Old Orange?
Old Orange. Yeah. I mean, because that's why I thought you was going with it at first.
No. That ain't what she was trying to convey. What she was trying to convey to her readers was, hey, I know it doesn't sound good to have to put a dog down. And then she brought up other justifications for putting the dog down. Lori, she was talking about, she went over to some friend's house. Cricket got out of the car, ran, and started killing their livestock and their chickens and whatnot. She was just wild and she started killing them just for the fun of it. And she said for the fun of it, Cricket was just killing chickens and shit, would try to bite at people and stuff like that. So that's when she said she decided she was going to have to put the dog down. She was just too wild. It's a 15-month-old pup. Anybody has a puppy knows.
I was gonna say, hold on. I'm gonna call bullshit on all of that. Because you're talking to a dog owner, lover, trainer, all of that. Either the dog was one way or it was the other way.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you are a Republican, a Democrat, unaffiliated, independent, you red, you blue, you sometimes one or the other. Nobody wants to hear hear a story.
Yeah.
You thought it was best to shoot your damn dog. Like,
right.
You pick up the dog for adoption. The dog. I mean, you said it was a working dog. There's no such thing as a working dog. Like, all dogs are dogs. If you want to use a dog to do that, like how the police use German Shepherds as police dogs, and they have to go through vigorous training. But sometimes some German Shepherds just can't do it. They don't go shoot the damn German Shepherds. They
No.
reallocate them to a family that could use a nice German Shepherd. All dogs can't be police dogs, and the ones that don't graduate and can't cut it, they don't just, oh well, come on down this gravel pit. What?
Listen, man, the only dog I have ever known to be put down, so to speak, was when it was already suffering.
Right.
Or
Right.
reasons
Sick
like
or
that. Like go ahead and
dying or
go ahead
something.
and put go ahead and put it out of his misery. You just
Quality,
don't
quality of life.
it's not like a limping horse from back in 1940s. Come
Bro,
on, y'all. Stop
It-
playing.
15
Stop
months
playing.
damn puppy. Give that lively dog to a family that would look for a lively dog. Just because
Man.
the dog wouldn't hunt for me. So come on down this gravel pit.
Oh my God.
What?
there's so many commercials. You see it on Facebook, you see it on everywhere where you have people about dog rescues and this, and how that they've even had retired police dogs that have found a home after their service,
Right.
or military dogs. There's so many other places you could have put the dog, but you wanted to sit here and again, CJ, as you were joining, I had heard the story, but I thought it was an older dog
Mm-mm.
that, that was I'm thinking a 14-year-old dog
I
that,
mean, at first,
that's
yeah, I mean, at first, but when he said 15-year-old puppy, I was like,
but then when he
Right.
added on the on there about,
I mean,
about
month.
the a puppy, I thought it was an older dog. I was like, what
Yeah.
how heartless are you?
Right.
Well,
The-
basically, okay, so here's what she basically did, y'all. She just told you the inner workings of herself.
she told you she's psychotic.
Yeah, exactly. And she just don't give a flip. Like she listen, I'm telling you, man, social media is beautiful at the same time it's nasty, but sometimes if you look really, really good, it can be a very useful tool. You really do get to see the material that people are made out of.
Mhm.
And she helped us. So thank you,
Well,
weird woman.
not only that. So all of these candidates, whether it's her, Tim Scott, Rubio, some other people out there that are vying for the number two, they are putting themselves in pretzels to try to appease Donald Trump, whether it's denying that Joe Biden actually won the last election, whether they will accept the results of the next election. So they're going through all of these different things to try to present themselves to Trump as, hey, what she's basically trying to do is say to Trump, hey, if when the time comes for us to do another coup, I'm going to do what Mike Pence didn't have the balls to do. I will make the tough decisions. That's really what she was trying to do, is puff herself up to be this strong person at the expense of a 15-month-old puppy and a smelly goat, apparently.
Right.
And
So I
then and
guess in a sense that was her that would be her proverbial sacrifice, right?
now the problem with these people is, and
Mhm.
to your point, CJ, she goes just too far. You think that was too far, but another excerpt from the book comes out where she talks about the time that she met Kim Jong Un from North Korea and stared him down, and he must
Okay.
and he didn't realize he must have underestimated her when he looked at her when she stared him down, and it comes out that she never met Kim Jong Un. And,
Right.
and then they ended up having to retract that out of the book. So the first couple of copies do have that in there, but the future copies, they pulled that out. She then goes on this whole, when there's a book out, they go on the book tours, they do their media availabilities and stuff like that. So she's doing the media availabilities and she's already getting grilled from the right and the left about killing a 15-month-old puppy. I mean, even the right wingers were like, the hell? Why? Why would you shoot a damn dog? And she's just glossing over it. Well, if you
I
have
mean,
to
I mean,
decide, she's like, if you have to decide between your safety, the safety of your children, and the dog, I'm a mom. I know you're a parent. I had to make that tough decision. She made it sound like the dog was attacking her kids.
Right. Okay. Man, hold on, because you making me pause in all kinds of places. Like, this story has so many holes.
Right.
It's like
Exactly.
Swiss cheese. It's
It,
okay.
it very much was. So she kept on and on about this. So then when they would try to lock her in as to, okay, so what you're saying is you never met Kim Jong-un. Well, during my time in politics, I've had the ability to go all around the world and meet various leaders of state and this and this and this and this and this. The answer is no, but she would never say no. She just kept saying, well, when it was brought to my attention, we went ahead and we decided to pull that out, that it shouldn't have been in there. So you never met Kim Jong. Well, I'm not going to really say, what leaders that, I've talked to and what discussions we had. They ain't asking you all of that. They just saying, did you meet Kim Jong-un? And she would never just flat out say that she did or she didn't. But the answer is no, she did not. Yeah, Lori.
Oh my God.
And I had a question because I said, did she stare Kim Jong Un down from the demilitarized zone? Like they were
Thank you.
there,
Thank
and
you,
then
babe.
like she was staring.
No,
Because
what
I
she
was
did,
like, because I had so many questions. Because I was like,
what she
did you
did
go
was,
there?
she saw him on TV and she stared him down, and he had no idea. That's probably
Okay.
what.
I guess say, was it a Zoom meeting? Okay, listen. Look, listen, guys. You talking to like our brother that's not with us. Okay. We had the pleasure, and he's retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So we both had the pleasure to travel the world. And guess what one of those places were? North and South Korea. You just don't roll up on a dignitary, bro.
Right.
Okay, stop
Right.
playing.
But
Okay,
she
I
expects a lot of
worked
her
the
followers.
DMZ.
Yeah, she
I
doesn't
worked the
expect
DMZ.
her followers to know that. But
I've
even
never seen that man.
right,
Never.
you won't. The
You
man,
No.
won't see that man.
the guy, he's
Stop
notorious.
playing.
He won't even fly to places. He takes a bulletproof train everywhere he goes.
Thank you. Okay. So you must have been talking to your brother, or you just knew that.
I knew that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
Because I was gonna say, because the way that these dignitaries are,
see him at the
you
airport
can't get
because he don't fly.
within
He don't fly.
you can't get within miles of them,
Right.
let alone try.
He's so paranoid that somebody's gonna try to take him out. He will not fly on a plane, Lori.
He know who he is.
He takes a
He
bulletproof
knows.
train everywhere.
And actually, and again, going back to the demilitarized zone again, with all of that, he will not set foot anywhere near the demilitarized zone. So no.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, how was she staring? Like, did she stare into North Korea? Something?
You know what? Now, what they will do is that they will allow certain tours or something from South Korea side.
Mm-hmm.
But see,
Right.
even then, it's very stringent.
Trump met him at the DMZ. Remember when Trump decided to go to South Korea, and Un didn't meet him at the DMZ, and they were sitting there blowing kisses at each other and stuff.
Bruh,
That's why I was like, what?
So the main thing is this: she's trying to push her book to show that she is gutsy and strong, and she's trying to project herself to Trump as to be this strong person that will sit there and is just as cutthroat as he is, and all these other things. These people feel like if they emulate Trump, that's how they win, but they don't understand that there's only one Trump. There's things that he can do that nobody else can do, even if they try to act exactly like him. Vivek Ramaswamy found that out. Ron DeSantis found that out, that you can't out Trump. You can't try to be Trump and people are going to embrace you the same way. Either you are him or you aren't. They're not looking for anything kind of like, sort of like, resembles like, reminds me of. That ain't what they're looking for. They're looking for the OG. So that's the problem. People try to sit there and say, well, I'm gonna be, and she's been very unapologetic as he would be. She's really tried to not back down as he would do, and thinking that that's going to work for her, but it's just made her so toxic over the last week, she's canceling interviews now because people are asking her questions that she doesn't want to answer anymore. So,
Well, hell, she put
Did
her
she
own
take her
dang on
interview
business
from the
out there.
kitchen? Because again, she's a mom trying to protect her kids, or was she this one? I just asked the question
oh,
because I
who knows?
was like, did she
No,
take it from the kitchen?
well, if she did, the background didn't look that way. From the
Okay,
interview, it didn't. It wasn't the whole what's her name from Alabama thing, Katie,
right.
whatever.
I just want to know if she was, because it's being a mom in this way and what she's doing.
No,
But did she take it from
you
the
know what?
kitchen?
You know what, Lori? She brought that excuse out after people started saying, "Why the hell would you shoot a 15-month-old puppy?" So then she started trying to layer in why she thought it necessary to do that. Before it was just the simple fact that, oh well,
I
he was
blame her editor and publicist. I do. I
oh,
blame her editor and
yeah,
publicist.
I'm glad you said that. So she acted as if she didn't know it was in the book, and she said, when it was
Stop
brought
playing.
to my attention, we decided to pull it out. Again, people take you for being stupid. This is why that doesn't make any sense. She recorded the audiobook version of it already, meaning she would have had to read all of that first. So if you knew that it was true that you met Kim Jong-un, you read it on the audiobook.
Okay, well, first of
So
all,
what's
okay,
brought to your attention? You read it, you co-signed it, and it was going into the audiobook. You already read it. Nobody had to
exactly.
bring it to your attention. Now, because what they'll say a lot of times is some people don't write their entire books. They have ghostwriters. They have other people that you've told anecdotes and stories to, and they help compile a lot of these anecdotes and put it in your book for you. So it is possible sometimes a ghostwriter could inject something into a book, but you normally
But you
get
still have a chance to review it
Listen,
before
you
it's
got
published.
thank you, Lord. Thank you.
not
Thank
only
you. Thank you.
true. Not only do you have a chance to review it, but she actually did an audiobook to it, meaning that it was her speaking the words from
And
her own book.
and before the audio book and all of those rights, you still have to approve the book for it to go into audio. So what is she talking about?
People are like, well, wait a minute. When you reread this story about Cricket the dog, that didn't give you pause. That they go, maybe I should tell this story.
See, listen, okay, guys, hold on. As sensitive and as aware as we are of
Right.
how society is today, I give myself pause sometimes, even of the things that ever I want to say and just go raw dog because I'm like, yeah, that's right. I got to consider. I don't want to turn off my audience. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way. I'm so with my brother and sister right now. There is no way under the sun that her editor, her publisher, her anybody, her beta readers, anything, if she had them, there's no way that that story in particular
Yeah.
about cricket
Yeah.
got past all these sensitive ears and no one said, hey, Miss Lady, you sure you want to put this one in here? Now Kim Jong Un or whatever, that might be a little far, fetch,
Yeah.
because everybody will realize, oh, this is a fantasy book. You woke up. Okay. But
Right next to the Star Trek book.
but yeah, this sudden onset of canine violence, I don't think that's going to sell well.
I mean, did she not see
Who's
what
your
happened?
PR person? Your PR person. Who's your publicist, your PR person?
I mean,
didn't they look at you and say, I don't let's
I
go
got
with
two
another
words for
one?
you. I got 2 words for you. Michael Vick.
Ooh.
I mean, well, my point is, you saw him get eviscerated for dogs fighting.
But
Now
see,
you're
he's
just
a black
talking.
man.
Now you're just talking about shooting dogs in cold
Yeah,
blood.
that's true. That's
And
true.
you,
Because he's black.
so you expect a different outcome. Look, I'm gonna
He's
tell you, there's certain
different
things,
because he's a black man.
right? But I will say this: there are certain things that do unify us, and we have to realize this because even during the Black Lives Matter movement, I said this plenty of times that people get more offended when you mistreat an animal than when you mistreat a black person.
Yes, we did. We
Absolutely.
all said that. I remember that
Look at
conversation.
dog.
Right?
I
Dogs
said
have
that
more
conversation.
rights than some
They
people than
will-
people
they
in
will-
general. So what is she talking to? And you
will
killed a
catch
dog, a
life
puppy,
sentence. Yeah.
a
You will
puppy.
catch,
So
yeah,
that's
you will catch double life
that's my
for
point. Now
messing with an animal.
she said she took one of her workers at her farm, and he happened to be a black guy named Tyrone, and she took him to the gravel pit because he wouldn't work anymore, and she laid him down. I think she could get away with that more than killing a 15-month-old dog named Cricket.
Oh yeah, because then
Who killed a dog named
because
Cricket?
then the excuses will start to happen. Well, you know what? Maybe
He was
maybe
stealing.
she,
He was doing something.
he might
Something.
have been doing
You were looking
something.
at my wife, and he wasn't looking at his work and stuff. So I went ahead and laid him on down. You could get more people on your side that read that kind of sympathize. Yeah, you got to watch him, and if you don't trust,
you gotta watch now.
But you ain't gaining no sympathy or people looking at you a better way by telling them that you thought you were big and tough because you shot a 15-month-old puppy. I'm sorry, I don't know who in the hell told you that was a good idea, but it blew up in her face. And needless to say, she is not probably going to be Trump's pick for vice president.
Oh my God, that was just crazy. Like, I didn't know if you was trying to make me laugh or I didn't know where to go with it.
Well, it's sad for the dog because I'm like, man, that dog could have been good for somebody else. You could have sent the dog to a trainer and had them at least trained to just be a home dog or something like that to somebody. But there were other options than taking the dog to the damn gravel pit and blowing their brains out. That just seems, and all that tells me about you is you are a very cold person.
Right,
Very
exactly.
impatient.
That's what I'm
How
saying.
could you sit here and keep score? You're retaliatory. Oh my gosh! Like, and as a leader, would I even want to work with you? No.
And Lori, here's the thing too. She claimed that the dog was terrorizing her kids. Yet, as soon as the dogs got off the bus, what's the first thing they asked? Where's Cricket?
Where's Cricket?
Would you be looking for a dog that terrorizes you?
Hell
No, I wouldn't be looking for a dog if it was going after chickens and birds and stuff like that. Well, you said it was a working dog, but you're
if this dog
supposed to
was
be able
really
to sit there
dangerous to your kids, would they
to
get
your
off the bus and the first thing they ask you is, "Where's the dog?"
Where's Cricket?
All right. Look, so let's just Scooby Doo this one, y'all. Okay, we're gonna Scooby Doo this one. All right. So she said that the dog would be going after the chickens and stuff, right? Here's what happens when you got an untrained, young, energetic, high energy puppy dog, whatever. Now, did she say what breed it was?
No.
Yes, but I can't remember. She did, but I can't remember what breed. I have to look it up.
Okay. So anyway, if it's high energy, period, chickens are toys to dogs. Okay. Even whenever they go to grab them and try to with all the flipping flying around, they just get those dogs more excited. So they'll grab the dog, and the dog may accidentally take the life of the chicken. Okay.
Yep.
And
so can a person, if you want to see him break his neck, sure.
Right. And then after
go
that,
like this, you killed your chicken.
And then after that, guess what you got? Food. Okay. So if anything,
chicken, fried chicken.
So I'm gonna tell you, even if it was half lies, like we know how people like to do. First of all, thank the dog for getting you your chicken dinner. Second of all, it does not make your dog demented or anything like that because it did what dogs did. Third, you took a situation and tried to demonize the situation. You tried to demonize the dog.
Hey, okay, listen. Cricket was a wire hair pointer.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Used to hunt pheasants.
Right.
Okay, so to your point, she didn't train Cricket.
No.
Neither she had him trained. See, you can do one or two things with dogs according to their breeds. Now, it is innate with them to pick up certain trainings, but the point is that they all have to be trained. They just don't come into the world, hey, I'm trained, I'm ready to go to work. No.
You got any pheasants?
I know, right? You You have to train them or have them trained.
Right. And she deemed the girl untrainable because she just had an aggressive personality and she needed to be done with.
Now, she's just a evil person. She's just evil.
Oh yeah. I mean, no doubt, no doubt. That just tripped me up because it was like, you know what? These
He
folks
just
a
made
lot of
it.
times try to prove themselves to be tough guys and stuff like that. And the way that you're going to prove to me that you're a tough guy is you shot a 15-month-old puppy.
Oh yeah, tough person. No,
Oh,
it
oh,
means
you
you're
bad,
sick
you
and
bad.
demented. Right. It just means that you're sick, you're demented, and you have a lot of issues. You have a plethora of issues going on with you.
Well, speaking of somebody that's got some issues with them, Marjorie Taylor Greene uh,
Again.
has been on a tear. Lori, I don't know if you saw this too, where she's been threatening for weeks and weeks and weeks to try to get rid of the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, just because he had the nerve to sit there and uh, help push through a vote for aid
You
for
mean actually do their job?
Ukraine.
Do
Right,
the
right, right.
job. Yep.
Well,
Mhm.
and we said this before with certain members of Congress that their job in Congress wasn't to sit there and get anything done. It was actually to bring it to a grinding halt and basically just blow it up from the inside.
Right.
Which makes you wonder, well, wait a minute. If you don't believe that government has a place in doing things, then why are you in government? It almost sounds like you're there to participate in something that you don't believe should exist. Because these are the states' rights people, or these are the same people that talk about government is too intrusive, except for when it's to tell you how to vote, when to vote, where to vote, and what to do with your bodies, and if you can sit there and have IVFs to start a family and when to start a family. But other than that, government doesn't have a place for you. Um, so it was just kind of weird because she's just been pushing and pushing and pushing that we need to get rid of him because he had the nerve to sit there and have Democrats support this more than Republicans supported it and everything else. So he's obviously got to go because, when you're just a member, your views and your vantage point is a lot different. When you're the speaker, think about it like this. If you've ever worked somewhere and then you get promoted to being the manager. Your view of how you run the business is a whole lot different than when you just work there. The
Mhm.
manager got a lot more responsibilities than just the regular coworker. So a lot of times the coworkers always this and that and the other, talking around the water cooler, bad mouth the government, this and that and the other. But once they make you the manager and now you're responsible for payroll and ordering and all these other kind of deposits and stuff like that, now you realize, okay, I can't just be involved in that day-to-day bull crap that we used to do. Now I'm more responsible. I've got to manage, I've got to lead. I got a team of people now that look at me and I have to carry myself a certain way. And I can't carry myself that other way I was before I got this position. And that's exactly what happened to Mike Johnson. He was Marjorie Taylor Greene. He was Gosar. He was Matt Gaetz. He was Lauren Boebert when he was on that side of the fence. Now that they elevated him to speaker, he realized, you know what? We got to get things done, y'all. We got to govern. And because we only have, and at this point, they have a 1-seat majority. And that, which means that to get most things done, you're going to have to, and I'm gonna say a dirty word. I hope I don't get bleeped out for this. Compromise, negotiate, act like
Mhm.
adults in the room, and work with the people on the other side of the aisle. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted him to have legislation that they could get all of their members to agree on and ram everything through. But the problem is this: the House is only 1/3 of government. If the House wants to introduce legislation, even if they rammed it through, passed it 217 to whatever, to get it through and get it passed, it still has to go to the Senate. If
Mhm.
so, normally, if you pass a bill that can get no Democrat support in the House, it has no chance of hell of passing through the Senate, meaning that all you did was pass empty bills in the House that would never become law because there's no chance that they will pass the Senate where there's a 51-49 split, Democrat to Republican. Most things in the Senate have to can't pass by a simple majority, so it can't be 50 plus 1. It normally has to be 60 votes because they have a filibuster for most of the legislation that they go through. So normally you got to get 60. Well, if you only got 51 Democrats in the Senate, that means you're gonna have to bring along 9 other Republicans to get most legislation passed in the Senate. So they understand in the Senate that if anything is going to get passed, you can't have a simple majority. You have to have a super majority, which is 60 votes, 60 out of the 100. That's your 2/3 right there. In the House, it's different. Simple majority passes their legislation, but passing that legislation doesn't mean that it goes into law because then you have to have the Senate and the House reconcile their 2 bills together. They have a conference committee. They reconcile the 2 bills, combine them into one so that they can be passed together. And then that's how it gets sent to the president's desk for him either to sign it or to veto it. That's the process. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she don't care about that process. Only process she cares about is I want to do what Trump tells me to do, and I want to sit there and own the Democrats. I can't own the Democrats if we got members in our uniparty, which is what she keeps using now. Uniparty is the word that they keep throwing out. And a uniparty is not in and of itself a bad thing. All a uniparty means is that there are certain Republicans and Democrats that believe that government should work where you have 2 parties that should work together. The word bipartisan used to be one of those things they will always throw out there. We need to solve things in a bipartisan way for the American people, in a bipartisan way for the American people. Now, when you say bipartisan, they look at you like, no. We're not here to work with them. And Mike Johnson realized that, you know what? I have to work with some of these Democrats to get some of this legislation passed. So anyway, she met with Mike Johnson. She'd been saying that she was teasing that she was going to kick him out. And what she ended up doing was she brought the motion to the floor yesterday to oust him. But Hakeem Jeffries, the leader for the Democrats, had already expressed, hey, if she does this, we're going to save him this time. Because the last time when Kevin McCarthy got booted, it was 8 Republicans that voted to boot Kevin McCarthy, but it was also the 207 Democrats or 211 Democrats, whatever it was, they got behind it and pushed it over. Meaning that if the Democrats had voted to not get rid of McCarthy, he would still be the speaker today. The 8 votes wouldn't have been enough because it would have been like 427 to 8 or whatever it was at the time. That definitely wouldn't have been enough. But because the Democrats had what they had plus those amount of Republicans, that was enough to get rid of McCarthy. Well, there weren't enough Democrats ready to do that this time. There were a couple of reasons that they decided not to do it. The main one was she was bringing it up because of the whole Ukraine thing, and they didn't think that he should lose his job because he did the right thing this one time. They do acknowledge the fact that he is an extremist. He is an extremist. They do acknowledge the fact that he is an election denier because he was one of the ones on January 6th trying to get a bunch of Republicans to sign off on this legal document that he had come up challenging the electoral results. So he's not really somebody that had been serious before about legislating. They recognize that, but they also recognize that it took 3 weeks for the House to even find him once they got rid of Kevin McCarthy. And they don't want to have to unnecessarily go back through round after round after round of trying to find somebody extreme enough to suit Marjorie Taylor Greene and some of her extremist people. All that keeps happening is that they keep losing people like Ken Buck left, and the other guy had just left Congress, which is why they're down to a 1-seat majority. If they lose somebody else that decides, hey, I'm out, I'm retiring, they're going to be in a bad position.
Yeah.
Because they'll no longer have a majority. And now you're going to have an issue where the speakership is going to be in contest. or if they lose more than one member, Jeffries
I
automatically.
guess say Hakeem would just take it by default.
He would take it by default because then they would be in the majority. So they're not really coalescing their own group under one tent. They're losing people because of their extremism. So that's kind of what's going on with them. But you see Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's outside, she's having these press conferences, they asking the questions, and guys, it's obvious. It is obvious. She loves the attention. Before she even teased, I see it, Lori. Before she even teased um, the whole thing, she just wanted the attention. She just wanted everybody to ask her all these questions. She saw all the attention that Matt Gaetz got the last time when he got rid of McCarthy. And I think she's thirsty for that. Before y'all respond to that, though, we're going to take a quick break. I need to refresh Instagram. Lori's going to play some commercials right now. You guys check this out, and we'll be back in just a second. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. All right. Lori, I'm getting good at it.
I was getting ready to kind of maneuver.
Well, you picked a really good one because the Moments one is a little bit longer, but it's a good one. But so we should probably do that one a lot more because that gives me a lot more time. But yeah, we're back up on. It has a stream thing with StreamYard where it will only stream 1 hour at a time. So at the top of the hour, when we hit that hour mark, I have to go in and pull another stream code to send to StreamYard so that then I can do the live backup for the last 30 minutes of the show. Nice. So what we decided to do was at that mark is to run the commercials. I sprint over to my other computer, do all of it real quick, and then come back over. So getting better and better at it. This is like the third or fourth time that we've done it. So we're definitely getting better at it. My son said, "Change this," has joined. What's up, Tawny Kilgoat? On Instagram. So yeah, just brought us back up on Instagram, and there she is. How you doing, Tony? Miss Honey. Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene and her power grab. So you guys go wherever you want with that. But yeah, I think she's just thirsty for power.
Well, actually, that's exactly what I was going to say. So I'm just going to be your echo on this one. Man, yeah, she's never like none of these Republicans really had any particular goal to really represent who are supposed to be their true constituents. And regardless, you could take anything. My mind goes back to what's that joker's name? He got one foot on a banana, the other foot in the grave. His whole goal was to shut down Obama's policies and stuff.
McConnell. Mr. McConnell?
There you go.
The turtle. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pirtle. Yeah. Okay. So like it's like everybody has taken their cue from him.
Yeah.
Like we have no real policies. Anytime we see something that look like it could do the people good, if it's coming from the across the aisle, it's our job to just shoot it down. Okay, fine. You want to shoot something down, but then as government, what are you offering instead?
Mhm.
And this is another thing that I noticed that a lot of people just don't pay attention to, B. They don't pay attention as to how policy overlaps, like even under different administrations. They feel like because one president was voted in, let's just say this year here, and then when this year ends and the new president takes takes the seat, they forget that that last president's policies are still in play, whether it was good or bad. And so the new president ends up getting either a smiley face or a frown face, all depending on what the previous president did.
That's a
And
that's a good point because people don't realize, and you'll get people that'll talk about Joe Biden's policies and stuff like that, or his policies at the border. And if you were to ask somebody that says that and say, well, what did Biden do at the border that Trump didn't do at the border, or what did Biden change so drastically that Trump, did? A lot of them, a lot of the things do cross over. Now, are there certain things that? Now, the biggest thing that they'll tell you is that, well, we had a policy that we had a remain in Mexico policy that he got rid of. Well, he got rid of that because it was really unconstitutional. The remain in Mexico meant that people seeking asylum had to sit in Mexico and apply for asylum. And that's not what the law is. The
no,
law is that if people are seeking asylum, they have the right to apply for asylum to this country
right.
and be in this country while they're waiting to go through the process. They
Mhm.
just said, well, no, y'all just sit y'all ass in Mexico. Well, why is Mexico any more responsible for holding these people? Because these people most of the time aren't from Mexico.
No.
So you're trying to tell another country, hey, these people want to come in our country, but we need them to stay in your country until we're ready to take them in, which will be the 31st of never. Um,
Because they all look alike. So
right.
they all got to be Mexicans.
Right. They think they're all Mexicans, even though they're coming from different places, Venezuela, all parts of South America. They come through the Mexico border, but that doesn't make them Mexicans. But they
Exactly.
think that the policy should have been. There was another policy that we got rid of, but it was a COVID-based policy that basically said, yes, you're going to have to sit over here and not come into the country because we don't know if you're bringing in COVID, and we're trying to control the epidemic.
Right.
So the same people that didn't even want to acknowledge that COVID was a thing were trying to hold on to a policy about the same thing that they didn't even want to acknowledge even fucking exist, which is crazy.
Right.
So COVID don't exist until you need it to exist to keep the brown people out.
Right. It's
So,
it's it's
so
like the
we got
boogeyman.
mad, we got
It's
rid of it. Yeah,
it's the concept of the boogeyman, my brother.
it is. That's
The
all it is.
boogeyman never exists until it works for your badass kids.
Well, think about it. Anytime there's election, what did they tell you right before the election? There's a caravan coming. They're coming. They're coming from down under. They'll be here soon. Lock up your women and children. They're gonna take your jobs. They're gonna
Take
screw
your
your wife.
gun.
They're gonna kill your kids. They're gonna drink their blood and all this. They scare these people, and these people have not caught on to the damn trick. Now it's only May right now, but I guarantee you by September you're gonna hear about some damn caravans coming from the south. The day after and you're gonna hear about crime in all the major cities going up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they want to talk about this and this and this, and they can't even control their cities. There's crime all over the place. Man, people getting robbed, targets getting vandalized. All you're gonna hear about all this stuff. You're gonna hear about that. You're gonna hear about caravans and everything else. And then the day after the election, nothing. You ain't gonna hear
Nothing.
nothing
I can
about
say
it.
crickets.
See,
Crickets.
see you next year. And these people have not caught on to the fact that they fear monger you to hate something about the other, and you can't even tell me what it is. They'll say this: they're taking our jobs. Really, because unemployment is the lowest that it's been in 50 years.
Right.
So if they're taking your jobs, wouldn't unemployment be up, not down? And wait a minute, how many of y'all was sitting there applying at the chicken plant,
Right.
the meat processing plant?
Mm-hmm.
How many of y'all was putting in applications there? I'll wait. So,
Right.
they say all of that. Again, it's fear mongering. There's no truth to it. They talk about, oh, okay, now with them being in the blue cities, crime's gone up. Well, actually, in New York City, crime has gone down.
Down. Yeah.
Actually, the states that are seeing the most increases in crime happen to be the so-called red states.
Yep.
But we don't want facts to get in way of a good story. So a lot of times they embellish and they just fearmonger people into believing they're coming for you, they're coming for you, they're coming for you. And I'll agree. I didn't have a problem with the fact that migrants were being bused to blue cities. The problem was the fact that they were misleading people as to why they were getting on that bus, telling them, oh, when you get there, they're gonna have jobs for you, they're gonna have houses for you, they're gonna do this. And oh, by the way, we ain't gonna even tell them that you're on your way. We just gonna drop your ass off in front of Kamala Harris's house in DC, and then they'll figure it out from there. Sending people now, if you really wanted to distribute people, you would call those counties and those states and say, hey, we're about to send some people y'all away. Y'all need to be ready when they get there, and make sure that you have a nice transition, not just for political points. Say, you know what? I mean, Ron DeSantis went over to Texas to find migrants to send them to Martha's Vineyard. They weren't even in his own damn state. You importing migrants to make a political point?
Yes. Why not?
Here's the thing.
Why not?
That
sounds good.
He spent Florida taxpayer dollars to take people that hadn't come into his state, and send them to somebody else's state.
I don't see the problem.
Well, obviously the people that voted for him don't either. That's the crazy part.
It makes perfectly good sense to me.
He took your money to fix a problem that don't exist, but he didn't take that same money to fix problems that are going on in your own damn state. And you know what they say? I'll have another.
Right.
You can't fix stupid.
All right.
You honestly can't be, all because they're, like you said, CJ, they're just trying to scare people. That's it.
I mean, really, they so if they're not scaring people, they really aren't the party. Like if they don't scare nobody, honestly, I'm like, I'll probably be like, okay, what happened?
Well, instead of being called Republicans, they just need to be called the Halloween
party. So used to it, like I've kind of grown insensitive to it, because it's just like, okay, yeah, blah blah blah. They coming for your guns. They're coming for your family. They trying to destroy.
I forgot about the guns.
They come, whatever. But at the same time, look what they actually did. They got rid of the protection of women. They forgot. If it was one thing that I took for granted, was that we were not going to touch our women, because why? We used to always say this all the time: laws are made to protect white women and children and their families. I would actually say that.
Do you guys remember when Obama was trying to push the Affordable Care Act? Whether it was Sarah Palin or all these other Republicans, they kept fear-mongering on death panels, talking about the government intervening between a doctor and a patient, and they're creating these death panels to decide who lives and who dies. And it showed little memes of Obama or somebody else trying to push grandma off a cliff, saying they're going to deny her benefits because she's too old. Don't make no sense to cover her old crusty ass. We're just going to push her off the cliff and let her die. So they were saying bureaucrats would now decide who gets health care and who doesn't. And that had nothing to do with it. It was a term of fear mongering. Isn't it ironic that these same people have no problem now where if somebody wants to get Texas, they have to have a judge get in between the doctor and the woman to decide if she is sick enough to have an abortion.
Right.
Same people that feared that bureaucrats would get in the middle to determine who lives and dies now are injecting same said bureaucrats to determine whether women can be sick enough or not to have an abortion. And sometimes they have to be septic before they can sit there and have an abortion.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. And they even abort babies after birth.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a thing. Babies get aborted all
I was
the time.
like, what? They actually said that, and then they said it with confidence. Like they said it with their chest. Like,
right. But they say
did you think about what you said before you said that? And these are
because
educated people.
well, they are. So that begs the question, CJ. They know that what they're saying is bullshit. But this is what you're saying. Tell me that I think that my base is stupid without me flat out saying I think my base is stupid. That's all you're doing. Because you know better, like you just said. Most of these people that say that went to Ivy League colleges and everything else like that. They got masters, they got all these kind of doctorates and stuff like that. Nobody in their right damn mind can say you can abort a baby after they've been born. The word, number one, the word abort is to end before it comes. Yeah. If it's already come, you can't abort after it's already happened.
You see that in your action movies? Abort mission. Abort mission.
Abort
you don't
mission
wait until the mission is actually done, because then you say retreat.
Wouldn't that be considered murder?
It is murder.
Yes,
murder.
Yes, my sister.
Every
it is called murder.
which then begs the fact there are already laws for that.
Yeah.
Anybody going around killing live babies would be murder. The problem is these people have hijacked the word murder to include once an egg has been fertilized, you can't abort because that is considered murder. As if these people have full rights of a full breathing human being. A zygote is not a person. But in a lot of these people's minds, a zygote has the same amount of rights as everybody breathing outside of a 15-month-old pointer named Cricket. But I digress. All lives matter, Christy.
I got one more thing. The next new hotness.
Yeah.
Wokeism.
Oh, Jesus.
To be woke means to be aware, not asleep, alert, to be cognizant of your surroundings. Like, how is this a bad thing? How is this a bad thing?
CJ, the same reason that DEI is a bad thing. You know, when I started working as a youngin for Marriott, one of the first things I had to do when I started with Marriott training was I had to watch a diversity video. It was a 2-hour video. It talked about how our differences are supposed to make us stronger. It gives us different vantage points of view, and everything else like this. They took that word, they bastardized the word, and it meaning a whole lot of other things or being bad to say. Because what you're basically saying to people, is, I don't want you to broaden your awareness past where you come from. If you come from a very small town where everybody looks a certain way, we don't want your awareness to be broadened. That's why there's such an attack on education, because it's not that these people are grooming your kids. It's the fact that they're giving them opportunities to explore things that maybe back from that hometown that they grew up in, they didn't have that kind of exposure there. So now that they're giving them a bigger plate of things to be able to look at. You know, when all you eat is oodles and noodles every day, and now I take you to a nice restaurant, and now you start to see all these other things that people eat. You go, oh my God, there's a lot more food out there than I ever thought. I thought there was just oodles and noodles and chickens that my dog Cricket used to kill.
Right. In the gravel pit. So listen, so one of the most beautiful life experiences that even someone as country as we grew up right here in Charlotte.
Military, sure.
One of the most beautiful things that families like ours would really encourage was continuing our education, like going into, this is what my mom would say. I love her so much. I miss my mom so much. But she would say, go to somebody's college. Okay. Go to somebody's college. I don't care if it's community college, because she knew exactly what you just expressed. You need to broaden your horizon.
Correct.
Even coming up and see, and I know you are a West Charlotte alumni. You hold a lot of pride in that. Right. Now, I would have been just by sheer location. But my mother, again, was aware of what she wanted for her children to experience. So she purposefully moved us from LaSalle, Badersford area to over here to the northeast side, which we couldn't help but go to Garrett.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it made me, this is all I'm saying, really. It made me broaden my horizon and take on other cultures that I ordinarily would not have experienced, at least just yet.
Right.
The other thing was the military.
Yes.
The military, and I learned this from talking to I call them my senior brothers and sisters. In other words, the ones that have gone on before me, like the Vietnam vets and stuff like that. When you listen to their stories, they would tell you, I did come in closed-minded. I did come in from a racist family. I did come in from a ignorant group of people. It was only until I came into the military I realized, oh, it's more than just me.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean I got to put my personal? I'm gonna say this again. You mean to tell me I have to put my personal differences aside in order to accomplish a particular goal as a group? Because I realize nobody can give a heck about Jones, but what they see on the other tape, it says United States of America or US of A. That's what they see, because that's who you represent.
That's correct.
They can give a heck about Jones. What they see is USA. And they don't care what branch you in.
That's right.
Okay. And that's what it's about. It's about something that is greater than yourself. And regardless of your race, your races, your prejudices, and everything else, and we all have them, get over it.
But it helps you to do that too, because you may have walked into the military with a preset conceived notions about certain kinds of people and things like that. Then when you are literally shoulder to shoulder with these people, you're going through different things with them. A lot of times you start to understand that some of those preconceived notions were much to do about nothing. And you realize, and it helps you become a better person, because it starts to tear down some of those walls that we have built up culturally and things like that in the past. That's what, and that's becoming woke. You're becoming aware. The more information that you get, the smarter that you get, the more wise you get. That's a good thing. But it has been used as a way to intimidate people, to say, what you want to go to school for, and get that all that wokeness in you, because they want you to be just as closed-minded as you can be, to say, you know what? I don't want to have to accept anything outside of a man and a woman. Okay. Accepting the fact that somebody wants to identify something that you don't think that they should be is not you condoning it. And I think some people conflate the same things. If you was born a dude and you want me to call you ma'am, I don't give a damn. That's you. You a ma'am. What does it do to me on my inside to acknowledge that you feel like you're a woman? If you
You a ma'am, sir, or sir, ma'am.
I mean, I don't give a damn. It ain't gonna. It's not gonna change my name at all.
Break me whatsoever.
People act like they got such high principles that if I say that, somehow it just messes up something inside of me, even religiously and spiritually. I didn't cross anything off from the Bible by telling the man that he was a woman. If he said, hey, I prefer you call me Jane. Look, what if my birth certificate said my name was Jane? You wouldn't call me Jane just because I'm a dude? It's on my birth certificate.
Man,
You want me to call you what's on your birth certificate, right?
Right.
I mean, damn, what's the difference? It don't mean
Well,
that I sit there and I
well,
agree
if
with
that's
your
the case, then we need to
lifestyle.
get rid of nicknames then.
Exactly, or stage names, Stormy Daniels.
Ooh, all right,
I
okay.
mean, my God, we
I
wouldn't.
see you, my brother. I see you.
Hey, we accept the fact. Hey, unless you really think that Lord, I was trying to think of Janet Jackman's real name is Janet Jackman.
Oh, well,
Lori, I know you don't know who Janet Jackman is. Don't worry
well,
about
if that's the case, you wouldn't go by 50 Cent, you wouldn't go by Ludacris, you wouldn't go by Puff Daddy, you wouldn't go
it. Right,
by Lil Kim, you wouldn't go. I mean,
baby.
any of these names. I mean,
Right,
you just
right.
regular old Curtis Jackson.
No, I'm gonna call you by the name you were given at birth. Oh well, okay. Well then, is that for everybody or just for people that you don't like their lifestyle of?
Right,
Where
because
where does your moral line start when it comes to what you acknowledge people as?
okay, all right. So, I'm this way or this way. Yeah, here we go. You see my labels, right? That's what I like to be called.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. CJ ain't on your birth certificate.
And they ain't gonna show Mr. T and TBS. Who's that? Who's that? What's that?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
I mean, my nickname Pound Town. I mean,
Chocolate Thunder.
oh, Lori, you look a little miffed about Pound Town. Like that might be messing with
Because
you.
it's not true
What?
at all.
Wait a minute. What part is not true?
All of it.
Damn. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to go to Limp.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know.
Listen,
It's eviscerated me.
if you want to be considered Pound Town to me, yes, but you're trying to say it's for everyone else and other people, then I'm going to have to say no.
I mean, I've been around about 40 years before we hooked up, so I did have a reputation. That's Pound
Okay,
Town.
that don't count. That don't count because that's before me.
Well, shoot.
That-
Hell, Michael Jordan was a legend before he met his new wife.
B, take the L.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm not gonna take the L because when I was Pound Town, I was taking a whole lot more than nails. But anyway, we gonna move that to head to head after hours.
Again, America or anywhere in the global community, it is not true at all.
Lori, let's bring back our last section that we love so much. Yeah, what I don't like. Lori, you ain't had to do this in a while, so I'm sure that you have a bank reserved of what I don't like. Lori's yours.
Well, I was just gonna sit there and to go on the Marjorie Taylor Greene. What I don't like was when she tried to bring back the Cruella de Vil, and then as she was sitting here and bringing up the vote to try to get him to get Mike Johnson thrown out, and from the speakership, that she got booed. And then I was really having a moment where I started thinking about her. She was trying to be Cruella de Vil in that fake fur that she had many whiles ago. So what I don't like is just Margie Taylor Greene because she just sounds utterly ridiculous, and these people believe her, and
So
it's just a matter. It's sad.
You don't think she advances women's causes at all?
No, and I really have a problem with the county that the part of Georgia that she represents because I would never want to go there ever.
And see, sadly though, sis, she goes uncontested.
Right. I understand that, and that's what's scary.
And that's how she got in there, and that's unfortunately how she gonna stay.
Back.
Anywho,
she's safe. That's the crazy part.
She is really safe. So she can go batshit. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, batshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, CJ, what don't you like?
Woo!
Now that you've been out there on them streets again, Ubering and stuff,
I've been in them streets, bro.
I know you seeing some crazy stuff out there.
Oh yeah. I had to ride around with Cat sometimes. Listen, here's the thing. I really do need for people to understand the basic concept of lanes. The basic concept of lanes. Okay? We're just gonna do 2 because I don't want to mess you up with 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gonna stick with the 2. Left lane, right lane. If you want to cruise, if you want to relax, if you want to be on your phone, drink coffee, do anything but drive, go to the right. I have no issue with you being on the right lane.
Mm-hmm.
The left lane is for people that got to go somewhere. Okay? Coupled with people that think that they are out here driving semi-trailers, tractor trailers. Oh, my sister you already know what I'm talking about, right? How are you swinging from an intersection into the right lane? You almost hitting people that's trying to go straight. You're not even U-turning. You're going to a left turn.
Mm-hmm.
You will never see these people over here. Why are you swinging your car way over here to just simply keep it straight and then do a like turn like this is too much? They created power steering for a reason. It was called lazy drivers. It was called for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or just put your foot on the gas and go. How about that?
You know,
Go.
thank you. You were in your car to do what? Go somewhere, right? Freaking get there and get the heck out of my way.
Well said. Only thing I can add to driving right now is look, y'all. I remember when I was growing up as a kid, I'm gonna tie this to driving. When I was growing up as a kid, we had a rule. Once the street light came on, your ass better be on the porch. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. The street light let you know when the street light came on, it was letting you know that it was getting dark and you needed to come in.
Right.
I'm gonna say this to people that drive. If you know your ass can't see,
woo! That's another one.
Get your stuff done before the street light come on. By the time the street light come on, your ass can be on the porch and your car is in the driveway.
That's it.
Don't be out there at no 9 o'clock at night, pitch damn dark, going 35 into 55 in a single lane road and got traffic backed up behind you.
You know what you're doing, and they know what they're doing.
Your old selfish ass.
And just sitting there looking at you, and you're just like,
because you know what?
Why?
You know what? Because then at that point, I kind of get it, Christy. No, I think all of them slow drivers are crickets to me.
I'm just gonna say one word to that: graveyard pit, baby. Gravel pit, baby. Gravel pit. Gravel pit.
Oh, I'm sorry. And if we want to add on the one last thing on driving for this one, I'm going to have to say, if you're going to, again, foot on the pedal and gas, but if you're going to get a big truck and you're going to get these 150s, 250s, 350, I'm going to need you to drive it like it's like you driving a truck, not like you're driving a Focus. I need you to put the foot on the gas and turn and go, not turn slow and stop.
Well, Laura, you got to realize that half of them are certain folks on Albemarle Road that only about 5 foot.
Man, just go ahead and say it. They're Latinos. Stop. Say it. They are Latinos.
Bro,
like that.
On Albemarle Road. I hate it. I will cut off my app and go down the road before
85% of the drivers that my sister just described are all on Albemarle Road right now as we speak.
I know.
They are driving their husband's car or the company work truck, and they cannot handle these trucks.
Thank you. Buy a car that you can handle and that you have size, because it's just like, why are you buying in this big truck and you're 5 foot, 4'9" and
why'd you say 5? That's too tall.
Yeah, that is too tall. They probably already sitting on 3 phone books in that damn truck.
Right. and then they can't see, and then they going like 30. I'm like, ooh.
Probably tiptoeing the pedal as they doing it because they can barely reach the pedals.
Listen, y'all know I'm totally surrounded. Like that's I'm the minority in the neighborhood. Okay,
yes you are. Yes you are.
I see them literally climbing into the truck. It's kind of funny because I'm short. It's funny. I'm like, Jesus, like, okay, I can step up in the truck, y'all, but y'all are literally climbing. That's funny coming from a short guy. Okay.
All right, y'all. Well, look, we're gonna end it this week. I was gonna do what burns me, but we're running over just a little bit. So if you want to catch that exclusive content of what burns me, it will be up sometime over the next couple of days. It's about Tim Scott and his thirst for power, trying to become Donald Trump's VP. And here's a hint, Tim Scott, he ain't gonna pick you.
No,
you're black, bro. Whether you want to be or not, he's not gonna pick you. You don't need to sit there and tap dance for the man. He ain't gonna do it. You can be on stage and talk about, I just love you. It ain't gonna go nowhere, bro. Just let it go. But anyway, thank you for tuning in this week for another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I'd like to thank my co-host, Miss Lori Parker, and Mr. TNTBS, CJ Jones as well. Catch him out again on Elephant Exposed on YouTube. And that's gonna do it for this week. Y'all have a safe week, and we will talk to you again next week. Peace.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and